Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me already. It's great to have you here. I can't do it without you. Also, make sure you have the notification bells switched on. So, the consolidated figures for Boom have finally dropped, and well, they dropped yesterday, so I'm a bit late in recording, but safe to say that it's not as big as I would have perhaps expected it to actually be. I think even though I know ratings have changed and things like that, I think that it is important to note that there is a significant decline in the viewership. Now, people will say to me, if you don't like it, don't watch. The thing is, you are allowed to like Doctor Who and you are allowed to not like Doctor Who. And if you sit in the middle, which is currently where I am actually open to valid critique of Doctor Who and the performance figures of it too. So, Doctor Who TV, as usual, is hot on it. Boom got 2.04 million in the overnight ratings, and for the +7 TV only 3.38, and up to 3.58 million for the +7 TV plus for screen. So the inclusion of those figures is 1.54 million more views, and it's falling short by 330,000 to 3.91 million. That was for episode 2, and it is down 430,000 views as well from episode 1. So this isn't good. The word of mouth on this episode wasn't particularly good either. It was a bit like Marmite this episode. People either really loved it or they really hated it. There didn't seem to be any in between. And whilst it was a marked improvement on the first two, I don't think that it's really showing. I would expect it, especially with the Stephen Moffat one, is that this figure, the 3.58, would have been closer to the 4 million mark when it consolidates, but it hasn't. So it'd be interesting to see if the 73 yards in a few days comes up to the 4 million mark. It may very well do. This one has had a lot better reception than Boom. But it's safe to say that even the critics like Radio Times, who try and back up Doctor Who a lot in recent months, are not even trying to defend its abysmal rating. That's what I think. But of course, you can actually judge that for yourself. Doctor Who confirms consolidated ratings for Stephen Moffat's Boom. The consolidated ratings for Stephen Moffat's grand return to Doctor Who have been confirmed, and they mark a significant increase on the initial overnight figure. And that's just talking about Boom itself. Now, it is a large increase, but nowhere near what I would have expected it to be, which would have been closer to the 4 million mark, which is kind of where the Doctor Who was sitting at the time of the other two episodes with the consolidation. According to TV ratings firm Barb, 3.57 million people watched Boom in its first 7 days of availability, including pre-broadcast streaming on BBC iPlayer and those who watched later on tablets, PCs, and smartphones. This is a stronger figure than the overnight result, 2.04 million, but still a decrease on the consolidated 7-day ratings of the preceding Double Space Babies and Devil's Called. The overnight scores were expected to be weaker this season, with episodes dropping first at midnight on BBC iPlayer and some fans racing to watch early in order to avoid spoilers. So they're actually admitting something that I've said all along, that the BBC iPlayer, and I've said this on the Senssphere, that the BBC iPlayer release of midnight is going to severely impact the ratings. So that means by the traditional tea time broadcast rolls around, many have already caught up on the latest adventure taken by the Doctor and Ruby. Nevertheless, there is evidence that the show may be gaining ground on terrestrial, with ratings for this week's 73 yards hitting the highest overnight figure of the season to date. 2.62 million, just beating the former record holder, Space Babies, 2.6 million. So, although they admit that Boom wasn't successful as perhaps they hoped it to be, they believe that the increase of 200,000 off the top of my head there. I'm not that great at maths, I'm a bit dyscalculic. Is a success. Are you sure that's just not 200,000 switching back on because they knew that Ncuti Gatwa wasn't going to be in the episode? A lot of people have said to me that they prefer the episode without Ncuti in it. And even Russell T Davies believes that it is one of his strongest scripts that he's ever written. And that's concerning considering this is a show about Doctor Who. And he believes that one of his strongest scripts was a Dr. Light episode. It'll be interesting to see if the 2.62 million drops with Dot and Bubble, which is coming up this week. I'd expect it theoretically to be getting in the viewership, so to speak, because they are describing it as a Black Mirror. But really, are people that's going to be that interested? I don't know. We'll find out. If the spooky episode can continue that momentum across its first week, we could also get the strongest consolidated figure of Doctor Who season 14, which would be exciting for the many fans closely monitoring the show's performance. Hi! Showrunner RTD is also hoping to draw big crowds to his two-part finale, The Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death, which will be shown in select cinemas as well as on BBC One and iPlayer. The climactic chapters look to set an answer to some of the continuing mysteries that have recurred throughout these latest episodes, including why snow falls on Ruby everywhere and the identity of Susan Twist's character. Do you know what? I've barely asked that about Susan Twist because the writing has been mediocre at best, in my opinion. So it appears to me that Radio Times can't defend the abysmal ratings for Boom, but yet they think that 73 Yards is the most successful, but it is a Dr. Light episode. And they're hoping that this one will draw in the best consolidation viewing figures. It might do, actually, because people have enjoyed this episode. And for me, it was okay. But how much higher than the 4 million mark? Nothing's garnering more than what we've got here already. Those are the Boom consolidated viewing figures. I believe that once they have shown the second series of Doctor Who, if these figures continue like this, the BBC will be like, no more. I think they are not doing a Michael grade on the whole entire thing, but they are looking for perhaps a reason to rest the show for a while and cancel it. So what do you think of the viewing figures for Boom? What about the series? Are you enjoying the series? Are you not enjoying the series? It can be either. I don't mind which. Honestly, it's absolutely fine. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. I will be back tomorrow with another video and it won't be Doctor Who related. So I will see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.